tired. As positive as I want to be about not having sun, I'm like craving it. It would be better than food right now. Um, I don't go into the cloud and chemtrail stuff, but I'm well aware of what's real and what's not. And yeah, when the rain stopped today and later for the last 2 hours, it's trying to peek through, it wants to, but it's just too thick today. And yeah, as much as I want to blow it away, some days I just can't do it by myself. Other days I can just look at it and say, like, go away. And it does. That's one reason I'm an activator, and I'm here to promote the unity part, in the sense that when 2 light workers get together, when 3, when 4, when 5, instead of being all separated, how powerful will be, and how it will be just automatic and so much easier. Yeah. Feel good yesterday, community tab post, was saying that one of the reasons of the release of what we feel in the last 24 to whatever hours is the fact that we've reached 50% collective consciousness. I think I already said this in another video, but I say it again because it's important. And a part of the collective consciousness reaching 50% really is believing in the other 50, and not considering people sheep, and believing that everybody is waking up, and believing, we can say, yeah, baby. Oh my God, you look awesome.
This is the tiniest one, and I think this is the biggest one.
You look awesome.
So just big to small.
I love it. Yeah, we are one means everybody. It really does. It doesn't exclude anything or anyone. And for me, some of my biggest, I don't know if I would call them tests or learning experiences, has been to overcome, like, I was afraid of spiders, a lot of my life. And to not be afraid of them anymore was one hurdle, but to actually want, a tarantula in my life, to actually want spiders in my house. There was a point a couple months ago where, I was having that yucky kind of day where I was just like, okay, like, if you can't bring me a friend in my life, like, can I at least have some spiders? Like, I know they're here. I just need to see them. And my daughter's 7, and she's going through that thing where her best friend is afraid of spiders. So sometimes she'll look up and she'll see, one of my homies that I've asked to come out, and then she'll be like, I don't want to see it today, Mom. And I'll be like, okay, just tell him that you don't want to see him right now and that he goes somewhere else. And they do. It's just that easy. It really is. And the other day I went outside, and I saw something in the air, so I was like, ooh, fairy. And no, it was like a tiny, like one of the tiniest little spiders, like ever. And for me, I almost, like, when I say I almost started to cry, it's not because I held it back. It's just that feeling of, like, pure joy came up. The joy, like, that brings tears, not because it's bad, but because it's just so pure. And yeah, one of my things that happened to me this summer, one day it was raining out, so I decided, hey, I haven't been inside and actually cleaned my house since the last rainy day, which we didn't have a lot of this year. So I was cleaning my bathroom, and as I was cleaning the bathroom, there was a spider. It was about this big, and, a really black, kind of thick one. And my first thought was, holy shit, this would have been whatever amount of years ago, and I would have been terrified. Like, it's cool to now, like, be cleaning the bathroom and thinking, like, cool, I got company. And so as I was cleaning, and as I said in another video, when I clean, I do like, I bounce around everywhere. So I would tell him, like, dude, like, I'll be back and I'm going to do this section. So, like, can you move? So, like, whatever. So I didn't forget that he was there, basically, and just go too fast and, like, squish him. And, so yeah, I did my day. He would move, and I would still see him. It was like he was watching me, and he was like my companion. And at the end of the day, I poured a bath, and I got in the bath, and I don't use stuff in my bath except for salt randomly when I have it, when I remember to buy it. And the lights were off, didn't have any candles, and I could see something black in the bathtub, a little black speck, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's impossible that there's anything in the bathtub. I totally cleaned it. I didn't have socks on, so I can't have like sock lint on me. I was like, what the fuck is that? And all of a sudden I was like, oh my god, what if it's my little dude? And I got so scared that I was killing him. And I remember I grabbed at the spot with my two hands, and I whipped like a whoosh. I whipped a bunch of water out of the bath, like there was water everywhere. And then, I had just gotten in the bath and comfy, but I was like, I can't just leave him there. I got to check if it's him. If it's not, it's not, but it has to be him. So I turned the light on, and sure as shit, there's like this little fucking little spider body, all like fucking like spiders don't do well in water. And I was like, oh my god, I fucking killed my buddy. Like, what the fuck have I done? And all I could think of is like, like search and rescue. What do I do? What do I do? And so my mind or whatever kicked in, and I thought, okay, fucking calm down and breathe. And what do I do? And so my first instinct was to go get a paper towel so I wouldn't squish him or hurt him with my hands, because he's so little. Like I said, he was this little, and then now he was just like this like little body. And like my heart was racing, and I felt so bad, and it was just, but at the same time it was like instant like saving mode. So I went, got the paper towel, and put it gently on him so that he would just kind of stick to it. And then I brought him to my spot that I had in the bathroom that had like some of my sacred stuff, and like my turtles and just some shells and rocks. And I made it so that he kind of flipped over onto a drier part, so he wasn't like still like immersed in like the little water droplet that had come up with him onto the paper towel. And then, I kind of breathed on him a little bit, and I said I was sorry. Like, dude, I didn't mean to do this. Like, I'm so fucking sorry. Like, I should have checked the bathtub. And I let it go. At that point, it was like, he's either going to survive or not. And so I let it go. And I went and, I can't remember if I even finished my bath because I felt like shit, or if I went outside. I can't remember, but all I remember was like, you've done all you can do, and let it go. You can't just stand here and look at him. And when I came back, because I said, like, if he's meant to live, he'll either be there dead when I come back, or he'll be gone. And yeah, when I came back, he was gone. And he came to hang out with me a couple other times after that, but yeah, he never came in the bathtub with me again. Whew. But I remember thinking, like, for me, because I was so afraid of spiders when I was young and to a certain point in my life, how it was a test for me. And I've said it a lot. I've written in comments, like, mosquitoes for me, even this summer, and I've been this way for a while. Like, I won't kill a mosquito that's on my skin, even if they're feeding. That doesn't happen to me a lot. The only times this summer that it ever happened was when I chose to drink wine. And, I was basically like, why are you guys doing this to me now? And the answer was like, well, you taste too good. Like, you're drinking the alcohol and we get to feed off you. And it was like, oh, okay, exchange. I get it. and it wasn't a lot of bites. And really, if you've ever gotten mosquito bites, if you actually let them go and do what they need to do, what they need from your body, and let them do that, when they're done and they leave, like instead of squishing them, if you squish them and kill them, it's like that's when you get itchy and it hurts and you'll scratch till like, or it'll drive you batshit, not scratch or want to put stuff on it. But if you let them do their full cycle of what they need, it won't hurt and it won't be itchy after. My dad taught me that like a while ago, and it was like, holy shit, dad, like you're right, you know, like. And again, the more that they bother you and you say they bother you, the more they're like coming after you. It's like any type of circle of life thing. It is just what it is. And for me this summer, I'm looking because I can see the dock where I used to go sit. I used to go sit at the end of the dock right at the time when mosquitoes were at their utmost, like, whoosh, level, that dusky time. And I would watch the fishermen come in and they're all swatting and, you know, all bitching and ragging and putting the fucking spray into the air that, like, is just so yucky. And I would be sitting at my spot and telling them, like, dance for me, dance for me. And they would just, like, be all around. And the more I would say dance for me, the more they had a formation of what they were doing. Like, and I never filmed it or, like, tried to prove it to anybody. But for me, I already know, like, they do that. Um, it's like any other animal or any other creature. If you see yourself as equal to it, they're not going to hurt you ever. You know, like you want to listen to what's on the news about a bear encounter. Well, 3/4 of the time, people who were in the woods or in the mountains and had bear encounters that turned negative, they weren't wearing the fucking jingles that they should be wearing. So they scared the fuck out of a bear, and a bear reacted. They, you know what I mean? Or disrespectful people who wanted to go take images and go do stuff and thought they were the shits. A regular hiker that knows what they're doing and that actually like really respects nature. You're wearing things, you're making noise, you're whistling, you're singing, you're talking if you're with somebody else, and you'll never ever ever have like a negative encounter with a bear. In fact, you can have some really cool ones where they'll actually come like right near you and you feel like really safe. Love all creatures, big and small. You know, it's you don't get to pick and choose which ones. When I was young, I was afraid of bats. Was afraid they would go in my hair and get caught. And nothing ever happened to me, but I always thought they were beautiful. And then one day, like I saw a dead bat somewhere, and when I looked at it from close up, I was like, how could I ever be afraid of this? It's like a little angel. Like it was so beautiful that, like it hurt. It hurt as much as if I had found a human on the ground that had passed away. And it's one thing too as well that I ask from animals and insects what I ask from humans. Don't get in my bubble unless you've asked to a certain point. Um, so I don't want spiders in my hair. Why? Not because I don't love them, because if, fuck, I find things from 1982 in there. Like, when I got married, I found bobby pins like a week fucking later. And then when I thought I had found the last one, all of a sudden I fucking found another one a week and a half later. So shit gets caught in there and don't come out. Um, it's just what it is with curly hair. So like I just ask them to not do that to me. Don't, come into my hair and like fucking expect to come out live. You might not. And another mosquito incident. I was having like this shitty ass day like this summer. Like it was about 24, 48 hours before I made the decision that I was being pushed to change my life again. And I was like crying outside like a baby, like just wishing somebody would fucking give a fuck and come like fucking soothe me. And, like your angels don't send you a human. And if they do, like you're really lucky. For me, I remember I was like fucking in a little ball and crying and like my face was like soaked. and a mosquito landed on my thigh. And I was so mad, and I was like, go ahead, suck the fucking blood out of me. Everyone else around here has fucking sucked me dry. Like, I'm so fucking done. Like, fucking suck me. Fucking go ahead. And he just sat there. He just sat there. He didn't even move. And I calmed down and I realized, like, whoa, I asked for a hug. And this warm feeling that's coming all over me, it's coming from like one of the smallest creatures like ever. And nobody else came to me, but that little mosquito did. And that's the thing, like, you might be screaming for like something. If you look around, you're getting it. You're just not getting it from what you want, what you expect to get it from. It's like today I went out, I was having like this like grr, I'm a dipshit, I fucking, something happened. Thanks, brother. And I was feeling like a dipshit from not seeing what was right in front of me and looking for a bunch of other stuff instead. I don't want to talk about it. So I was feeling like, oh man, and just overwhelmed with certain things. And so I went out for a drive. I'm not going to sit here and feel overwhelmed for fucking hours. And I went to get gas. And where I went to get gas, I decided to buy something to eat, like a snack thing. And I put it on the counter, and the person where I go get gas at specific spots to encourage them. For me, they're my local gas stations, even if they're across town. And the one that was working was one of my favorite people. He's awesome, but he's very shy. And a lot of people don't know how to take me because I'm not shy. Or I am shy, but I don't want to, I don't talk to other people. So I make the most of going out. And in the moment that I was there, I was just going to grab my snack and leave. But then I said to myself, I was like, okay, the drive is helping. But if you don't make a move to like change this mood, like you're going to go home and feel the same way. So the snack that I had got was a Joe Louis, which I haven't eaten in years. And I grabbed some randomly and I ate them because they make me think of my grandpa. My grandpa went through a year and a half of battling cancer, whatever word you want to use for it. And through that whole year and a half, he just ate what the fuck he wanted. He didn't do, some sort of diet. He just ate what the fuck he wanted. And Joe Louis was one of his things. So once in a while, I just want one because they make me think of my grandpa. So I was going to leave without saying anything to the dude, and I don't know his name. I forget. And I was like, no, say what you want to say. So I says to him, I was like, do you ever eat something just because it reminds you of somebody? You should have seen the smile on his face. He just was like, no. And a big grin comes on his face. And I was like, well, I don't really eat Joe Louis, but they remind me of my grandpa. So that's why I got this. His smile was so amazing. And it just like, energy exchange, like, boom. And me and my daughter walked out of there giggling, and probably made him think, because sometimes we don't think we're doing something, but we do. Like comfort food. Comfort food is like what, our mom or grandma or aunt or family parties or Christmas. Comfort food is what gives back a memory. And so I wondered to what point he thought about it after I left, but the smile on his face was like worth the drive across town in the moment to just kind of get an energy exchange. Anyways, I'm done. I don't even know half what I said except for mosquitoes and spiders, lions and bears. No, I didn't talk about lions and bears. I talked about bears, not lions. Have a good afternoon.